Welcome back to Factorio MSX Gigabase. So, let's just zoom in a little bit. Yes, UPS is suffering a little bit. That's partly because we are running at these are significant numbers now. Very significant numbers, 11K processing units per minute. The key is that the high-tech and the purple are both at 6,000 now. Those are the real big burners. I mean, blue is as well, and it's virtually there. For some reason, the science has just dropped below the 6, so one block is not actually running. Maybe we'll quickly have a look, see why that is. This one is missing space science, so that's the reason. Which hopefully will be resolved pretty soon. What's this at? 18K, and there's none sitting around. So yeah, if there's any delay in stuff getting down to the launch facility here, it does have an immediate sort of impact on the science output. But it's certainly healthy and refreshing to see yellow and purple science running at the 6,000 production-wise that we need to sustain 6,000 per minute. And I mean, if we keep getting rockets launching like that, 32 per minute, no, it's obviously not the case, but on a 1 minute basis it's certainly getting a lot better. That should push this back up to 6,000 a minute very soon. Oil is fully up and running down in the southwest. Where is it? Down here. There's all three of them. And yeah, we have our benefit from these. All three platforms are all functional. Now, I haven't removed this block yet, because when we do the northwest oil, this bit at least, and possibly even this bit, will come in handy. Of course, we do need to deal with the possibility of lube, not just conversion to light, and of course a massive conversion of light to petroleum for the plastic and the acid that we make up there. So those are issues, but we're not actually going to do the oil. It was bad enough doing oil the last couple episodes. So what we're going to do this time is, I'm back at iron 1. If I have a look at here, there's I mean, some of these are obvious. These ones up here not so much perhaps, but it's like iron. I mean, these are partly why maybe we're short on green circuits, but iron. So even though iron was running at well, over 400, 418, 420 thousand, it is not. There's no supplies here, so we need to fix that up. And it does look actually at the second like everything's okay, but really we need more iron ore trains coming in, and iron is quite a large source of congestion when all is said and done. There you go, we're empty here at this point, not for terribly long, but we were nonetheless. I do think we probably have enough ore trains coming in right now. How's my steel collection over there? Yes, it's feeding away quite readily. What I was thinking of doing, so I've moved this one over, so it's out of the way, so we can set up our stackers. But this, I mean, there's an iron train, but it waits no time at all. It's in and it's out before you know it. And now there's 2 iron trains that could be filling up if we had a more efficient system. There's only one waiting here, so even if it was lined up correctly, it couldn't feed in, so that's why we potentially need more. And so what I think I'm going to do is I'll make a copy of, well, yeah, I'll explain the plan. I'll make a copy of this. So I quite like this stacker. I'll shove it right over here, or even, I mean, it might even have the entry so it's further down. because I'm going to set up an entry stacker a little bit like this, except instead of running into a 2 breaking into a 4, I'm actually going to use the 4 stacker, and I'm going to move it over here. So I'm going to delete all of this area. I'm going to move the entry and exit to iron over to here, because basically the iron from this stacker either runs into baby steel, or it runs along here to green circuit 1, and that's about 95% of the iron that comes out of here. The other 5% probably goes down there to feed whatever else, maybe this stacker, maybe it comes into the science, but that's a fairly low volume. And I mean, you can see right here, for example, iron sort of trying to get out. These two are both trying to get out, so if they had more capacity to get out, that would be helpful, and if they had more capacity to get in, that would be helpful. And these oil trains, we probably need to stop coming through here as well, but that's another story for another day. Let's get on with this. So the first move is basically to knock this on its head. Actually, do we have some stuff here? Not a lot. I won't worry about that too much. Let's just rip all of this out. We don't need any of this, so that helps, because it's a supply stop with all the electronics relating to a supply stop reduced or removed. The rubbish stop doesn't really have, it's got a little bit in here, but not to worry. So it's also the electronics related to a rubbish stop taken out of the picture. And this is why I didn't put the engineering train. You can see it down there. I'm using the steel, that's close enough. We need efficiency over practicality, I guess. So how many bots do we have up there? Plenty. Do we have any in here? No, good. Let's just take it out and get rid of those 2 bits as well. Do I need this power across here? That's a good question. We do have power here. Let me just have a quick look. I think we have power that connects here, for one thing, and then through this network here as well it connects. So I don't think it needs to rely on this part anymore. And it is helpful that we don't have to worry about the impact of the copper here affecting this change to our setup. Let me just grab these bits of rail. I can use the bot clear to get the other bits. Like this is what I mean. So I haven't actually worked out exactly where I want to put this. I basically want to make sure that there's at least a 383 length clear between this one and where this goes, and I think if it's coming along here we clearly will have that, so that should be fine. We need 5 for the 4x4. 1, 2, 3, maybe, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. So we need to go that far as clearing out pre-existing signals. Come on, guys. Grab those things. Oh, we are running it a little slow. So 2.2 billion iron is our all-time consumption so far in this factory. We don't have a lot to show for it either, do we? Dear, oh dear. Okay, so that's my 4x4. Now I haven't worked out exactly where this ends up. Just make sure I'm not on the track. I do have signals, I do have track, so all of it should be able to be laid, placed. Come on guys, you got to do this bit as well. It wouldn't surprise me if that caused a little bit of consternation as the bots had to refigure everything out. You guys can just join my party. Now, how does this look? So we're up here. I mean, the truth is, the truth is that we could trim this bit off, probably. We don't actually need this whole length here. It is for other situations. We could, for example, run like so, or even, you know, just like so. So I think we need to do something like that. Let me erase. Whoops, that's gone slightly too far actually, but never mind. Let's put that in like so. Come back down here and eliminate the signals that thing just put in, because they'll be wrong and they'll be in the way. Rebuild this out. And coming into this thing, we need those. That one should probably have a matching buddy up there. And I don't know why I have a train stop in that pattern, but we don't need it. Right, so that's how the new one will start entering. Now, I would like a bunch... I'd like it to kind of pick up on this idea, but we may not be able to fit all of this. Let's just see what it takes. So if this was actually it does look like we can fit that, depending on exactly where we need it. So that is actually excellent. It looks like I'm going to want it further over this way though, so let's get our 4x4 pattern and run it along a little bit. Here we go. Now, the design that we're using was obviously a stacker coming from 2 lanes, so we will have to enhance it a little bit, obviously, to make the most of the fact that we're using 4 lanes. What, you got no power? Are you just slightly out of range? That's going to be very annoying. Just check that. Yep, it is. Alright, damn. Let's rip up all of this stuff, it's fine. Rip up the signals, so we need it so that it overhangs there. Have I just put it back exactly where it was, or did we connect this time? I think I've just stuffed it up again, haven't I? We'll get there soon, don't worry. The bots just needed some exercise, right? Okay, let's try that again. I see, it doesn't fit quite right, which is why we have the problem. So sometime I'm going to have to fix up all my blueprints. I mean, most are now pretty good, but there's some that they should all interlock so that I don't need to come back and run these wires, but I mean, it's not that big a deal. Got better things to do almost always, such as design new stacks. Right, this time we have power, and fortunately these straight sections do fit into each other fairly well. And because it's probably easier to rip some out rather than put more. Oh, we are actually getting quite close to that though. So this is going to cause a major disruption as soon as I pull this iron. At least this is heading towards... No, it's dropping again. It must have got up to 6 and then it's coming back down to 5 or 4.5. Which is probably due to some congestion down here somewhere. Yeah, look at this. Problem for another time, but still annoying nonetheless. So yeah, stopping all of this iron is going to probably give us back some UPS pretty soon, but it is going to hurt just a tad. Where are you going? You're going straight ahead. But yeah, let's just do it there. So that should be enough to stop any iron trains coming in. And they'll really be stopped by the time we also do all of that. Probably a lot of trains with missing, can't find their next stop and getting all confused. That's just the way of it. So what we basically want to do is let all of these iron trains out of the system. And then we have this sort of carry on. So that's that. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them need to depart. Oh, I want a copy of this stacker as well, so why don't I do that while we wait? Probably should have done this in map mode. I definitely should have done it in map mode. But I'm thinking we probably have time while the plate trains clear. Okay. So at our incredibly low DPS, let's in fact get some Invini zoom just to make that DPS even worse. DPS, UPS. It's all PS, isn't it? The stacker can probably come down somewhat. Like to about there. Actually, I might clear it out before I put this in. So let's just those up there. Plate stacker. There. At least this alternate is working. Now, get out of Invini Zoom again. Whoops. Are we yes, we are. We are completely clear, so that means we can now rip out the rest of this. Which is basically everything up to this entry-exit point. In slow motion. Okay, I don't know exactly what that means. It's part of my mod telling me that not having this access is causing it issues. Hopefully it doesn't blow up completely, and we are seriously out of charge right now. We don't want this to take too long, obviously. Oh, I know what the subscriber was. It was, yeah, I ripped out this. So yes, that. Certainly would need to. It didn't have any trains sitting in it, but yeah, it's no longer accessible to my code when it's looking for those trains. It hasn't caused a crash, at least. So that's one thing to be happy about. Oh, I'm going to need to get rid of all these trees, unfortunately. Whoops, we're out of space. That's less than ideal. We can put those in there. I think what I'll do is I will make a quick pause so that I can run down to the engineering train, get rid of some of this excess supply, and then, or in fact, actually instead of doing that, what we might do is I'll get below this whole area eventually. I don't need all these blueprints, so I might just put them into a steel chest for safekeeping, and then we'll start building out this side in the way that we need to. Okay, steel chest. Gonna need those, not gonna need those, not gonna need all of those. I might need those. Come to me. Okay. Now, obviously the pattern that I want is the one that we've had to work and rework several times, which is basically this guy. I don't want this bit though, I just want probably all that mechanism, and we'll sort of fix the other bit. Oops. Let's get back to it. Let us grab a new blueprint. Yep, that's about where I want to be. And that should do. Now we're going to be back into our old friend zone again in just a moment. Let's just move up here a little bit. And yeah, you can see we're getting all this UPS back. That's because iron production has crashed. Not for long. Okay, that should do. Now let's get into InfiniZoom. Oops. No, that's a bit too much. Actually, I don't know if I've done that whole thing yet. I just want to check that. So let's just pop up here. It's better. It is better if we clear out all of this, even though in theory the bots can cope with overwriting. No, I didn't. So yeah, we need to rip this out, and this whole area is annoying. Can I risk a nuke? What sort of question is that? Is there any way I can not risk a nuke? If we nuke it, we've got a lot less of it to have to pick up. And that will certainly help. Okay, let's get back to, let's get rid of this as well. Let's get back to InfiniZoom, get this pattern down, get iron back up and running, then see where we're at. Okay, so that's the pattern. We need to be down a little bit so that we're kind of in the middle. Good to see this is fully recharged, or just about. Right, back to your massive. I think that is basically all. Yeah, okay. So, every one of these is connected. And this here just needs a little bit of rework. Of course we've got this exit and that entrance. Yeah, well, we can run that down, but this bit here, I don't want it to work the way that indicates. So let's just do that. Alright, let's get out of InfiniZoom now. That sorts out that one. It's just important to sort out which ones are the entrances, which ones are the exits. Then match them up to our 4-way coming in. There we go. What's missing there, but we'll sort it out in due course. Okay, I need faster legs now. Got good bot charge. Let's get on with the show. Tidy up that last bit later, but not too much later. Okay, you are... Oh, you're that stacker. That's not the one that... did I put that one up here? I may have done. I'll always copy it again if I have, or if I can't find it rather. That's it. So, this slot. May as well kind of enter the fray about there. I suppose the only thing with this is possibly, instead of having, we haven't actually put it down yet, but instead of having the big, this stacker up this way, I could actually put it down here. Let's just get into Infinity Zoom and see if there's anything in particular that makes sense. Well, there's plenty of room for it, so that part of it makes sense. I mean, I guess it would go something like that. Whoops. So if we're going to do that, probably remove that part. Grab this again. Oh, I probably want it low enough so that all of it can access the bottom one. Is that low enough? I'm not sure. Let me just make sure that is the case. Looks like it. Oops. And then we'll effectively make this 2. Maybe pull it out one more. In fact, I think what I'll do is we won't use this one at all. So you make your mind up at the beginning which side you're going into. That's fine. Whoops. Let's grab some more rail. I think that one works because there's a straight segment from the last curved segment, or is there? I guess we'll find out. These may not have room. Well, if we can separate out all of the segments here, probably have to change them all to chain signals. Let's put some more, get more research happening. I do still have rail, good. So we'll have to work out what this one's supposed to be called, because I didn't make a record of it before I moved on. It should be ISP1 weight. Okay. ISP1 weight. And these all need, whoops, not a publisher, but a supply, which I don't seem to have, strangely. Train publisher. These should be train subscribers. There we go, and there it is. So hopefully that fixes the problem that we may have had. Now this here, we basically need, well, I'm going to need a different type of signal, but I don't need that. I don't need those. Think something like that. This one up here needs a little extra. And then we will need these guys all the way down. And I would like to, well, maybe we can't divide those any further. This one here is probably redundant. Don't know if it's going to help. Let's put one of those there. Maybe one there as well. So now join the lines. Join the lines. This bit here is not especially good, and this bit at the end there is not especially good either. might even need to get more rail to finish this off. So you are an exit. You're an entrance. And you're an entrance, so the middle two, these are the entrances. This one's an exit. Okay. Yes, the question is, where do we cross the exit? Probably just here. And join this guy up. Join the other entrance up. Did I need to leave more room in there? Possibly. Ooh. Ouch. That was a little bit close for comfort. You know, I could probably just have it come out a bit more here. And not enough rail. Okay. Let's get some more rail. Okay, this bit's going to be a little bit dicey. One of the places we can get a little bit more rail is just here. It wasn't the principal source that I had in mind though. Or just cool off for a second. Okay. Let's head down to our steel 1 stop where we have the engineering train just over here. Looks like iron has started to flow again. Oh, are you empty? I thought I had a bunch of rail on board, but obviously I don't. We can't get trains out of here just yet, so that is a bit of a problem. I might just pause, grab some more rail, and try and finish up a bit of this stuff so that we can wrap it up. See you soon. And back. So yes, my I filled up with a bunch of actually let's get of rail on my person as well as the engineering train. The engineering train's gone walkabout. It's not here. It's taken off in the wrong direction, but this is the reason why. I mean, this is all the iron that's banked, all the iron trains that are banked up while we've been trying to sort this lot out, so you can kind of understand it. Fortunately, I have some rail, so I can at least try and connect this up. That should let trains out. I might just give them a few signals to help the flow. Right. Now this other one, it probably needs to join into the first one, 1, 2, fairly quickly. We don't actually need to go around in this corner like this. Doesn't really serve any useful purpose. Let's try and finish off this bit on the way out first. And it would appear that unless these trains have all lost their ISP... Oh, I've spelt it differently. Damn. Alright. We need to fix that up pronto. Which means we need to rip up the supply thingamy from here. Subscriber, and then how exactly did we spell it? ISP1 was all run together. Alright. And now we can put a subscriber back in. ISP1 wait is now in, and these other ones should all be happy. Yes. Yes. We're not entirely done yet though. We need to connect up this other exit, and we need to finish the bit at the top. Guess what I'll do is they can run single from this point. Ah! That is not what I had in mind at all. Got nervous with the train approaching, I'll admit. Okay, you come down here. And some signals going up. This needs more signals as well, clearly. And we need more trains in this area as well. This one here is a no-go. Right. The rest of it should all be fairly straightforward. And finally, the last connection. So that iron smelting 1 can be restored to its full glory. What are we missing? We are missing somewhere to put a bit of wood that got picked up. Is there something else here? No. And down here, what are we missing? Got too many of those for one thing. We don't need that one, but never mind. What are we missing down here? It's not down here, it's down at the next level. And that's about it. Alright, signals over here on the way in so that a bit more traffic can flow. Right, I need to enlarge this whole area. Okay. This is going to be a little bit messy. Possibly. Possibly not. And this bit here is a non-entity. I probably don't really want it to have one stop there, but does it really matter? Maybe not. Anyway, as soon as I see a few go to the top, that one's going to be forced to do. There is one in one of the areas up the top. This is certainly starting to clear a bit now, which is helpful. Up you go. Once you get to the top, we'll probably start resuming some fairly massive iron production, which has fallen on hard times while this whole thing was off. And this is clearing out like a charm. Beautiful. I just think we'll probably find we are a few iron plate trains short at this point. Anyway, I think that's probably all we've got time for, so thanks for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye bye for now. And I'll get to the right control very soon.